YouTube, it's your boy Carter TV. You know I'm back with another crazy story. I got a good one for y'all. This story, it's about a little boy, little kid. And his name is Benny. Benny grew up in a family of three older siblings. My fault, I said four. Three older siblings and a mother and father. You feel me? He was the last. He was the baby of the bunch. His dad was a hardworking man. He worked at a warehouse, and his mother was a nurse. Now, this story is how, a family could be damaged due to one person. You know what I'm saying? So basically, over the time, the mom wanted more from life. She was a much older woman. The dad was an older man, and he was more family ties. He was more into, making sure the family got what they needed and all that. The mother, on the other hand, she wanted the glamour. She wanted the Gucci, the Louis, the foreign cars. She wanted that big life, which the dad wasn't really into or like. He was just, a common man. As long as his kids was fed, they got clothes on their back and a roof over their head, he was good. And whatever they wanted to do, he supported them. That's the type of, man he was. So he had Benny had an older sister. You feel me? She was the oldest of the bunch. He had another sister. So the older sister was about 15. The younger sister, she was about 12. And then he had a brother who was about 10 years old. Benny was only 5. Now, Benny's life started to change when he was 5 years old. The mother was, messing around with a little young guy that was 20 years younger than her. You feel me? And he was in the street. This guy was in the street. He was in the street selling drugs, making moves. He was gang banging and all that. And the mother she was thrilled by that. She was excited by that. You know what I'm saying? She met the dude one night when he got stabbed, and she had to stitch him up or whatever the situation was. That's how she met him. And boy thought she was fired. So he stepped to her, She brushed it off at first because you're a young guy. You could have, she looking at him like, you could have been my son. You could have been my son or whatever the situation is. But he was persistent, and he ended up swagger jagging her. You feel me? He ended up scooping her up, wine and dining her, showing her a good time, showing her his grown man shit. You feel me? So the mother was creeping around with that man, with that young boy for a while. You know what I'm saying? And the husband wasn't aware of this because he was thinking he got a good wife at home and all this and all that. The kids started to get suspicions of it when the mother was sneaking out. The father would work at night. The mother would sneak out and be home by the time, but before the time the dad get home. So the dad wasn't expecting nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not until people at work started to notice. People at the father's job was noticing like, yo, we be seeing your wife out. And they was trying to put him on. But he was so naive to it because he thinking he got a good wife at home. He was naive to it. He was brushing, stop playing with me, And the young kid was actually using the woman because she was a nurse. She was able to get him certain things. And this lady was so involved in this young man, she was willing to do it all. She was willing to risk it all for him. You feel me? She was willing to risk her job for him. You feel me? So like, when one of his mans get into it and get shot, they send him to her. You feel me? They send him to her, and she would get them, either patched up or get seen or whatever it is. She was getting them pills and the whole nine. People at her job started to notice, and she was slacking. Like she was doing amateur shit to get her caught up. You feel me? And she didn't care. So she was basically telling the kids like, yo, if I lose my job, I can't really support my kids. So I need another way of getting income. So he was put her onto game. He put her onto OnlyFans because she didn't know nothing about it. And he was basically trying to, explore her to see how far she would go with it. And that's how it happened. After a while, the boy got bored of the woman because she was an older woman. She wasn't like a young girl who would attract more. You feel me? So he wanted her to get younger. He wanted her to get younger girls involved, so that way he could pimp them kind of in this kind of way. But he wanted them to like sell pictures, make fake pages, so he could basically rob dudes too. And he wasn't just going for like the little niggas, and he was going for them white men who had money. So what he would do is he would tell her to scoop these girls up, tell her how much money you could make, bang, bada, boom. And that was a move for her. She was making money off of doing that, right? So one night, the father didn't go to work. You know what I'm saying? The father didn't go to work, and she thought she was slick. The father crept. He was in the car, and he watched her leave. He fake left, spent the block, and then sat by the crib and waited to see what she would do. Because he kept getting word that his wife was fucking around. His wife was fucking around, right? So boom. He waited, he crept. About an hour sitting there waiting, she leaves the crib. He follows her. Because they had two different cars. He follows her. She goes to this building. At the building is some young kid. She kissing him up, hugging him down. And he was like, so this is what we doing. He caught on. So he get home and he waiting for her. He waiting for her and shit. So he waiting for her to pop up, and she comes home. And he's sitting in the dark. Turns on the light as soon as she walks in. She gets startled. Oh shit, babe, I thought you was at. Where the fuck was you at? I was out. No, where the fuck was you at? So she basically like, listen, I was out doing me. And there's nothing else to be thought. It is what it is. So this what you do when you run around? We got a whole fucking family. They start arguing. She like, fuck you, nigga, I'm out anyway. You broke, you can't do shit for me. And he just kind of broke down. And he was just upset. He's like, you really gonna do this? So he started throwing shit. She was like, you can't do nothing else for me. Like, all you wanna do is work and come home. I want more. I wanna go on trips. I want expensive shit. I want expensive cars, and you can't do none of this for me. So the boyfriend pulled up, because she was texting him during the argument. He pulled up. You feel me? He pulled up. The kids is now coming down the stairs because they see and they get woken up by the commotion. She let boy in. She like, you ready? She like, yeah, grabbing her things. He like, the husband like, where the fuck you going? Where the fuck you going? You ain't going no fucking way. Come in. Boy, the young nigga backed out. Boy, stop playing with me before I beat your old ass up. So he like, that's how you coming, young blood? That's how you coming, young blood? That's how you coming? That's how you coming? Yeah, that's how I'm coming, nigga. Back the fuck up. Benny see this. He a young little nigga, 5 years old. His sisters and them see that. They like, Mom, where you going? So she look at the kids like, listen, Mommy be back. She never came back. So when the husband was reaching out for her, boy backhand him with the pistol. Boom! Rocked his shit. He fell down in front of his kids. The older daughters and the son, they was like, Dad. And then the young kid's like, you better stay there. I'll put a bullet in your head in front of your fucking kids. So the wife was like, listen, it's not that serious. Not in front of my kids. We're not doing that. So he was like, all right, we're not doing that. So the wife was like, you enjoy the rest of these kids. And I had those divorce papers for you soon. So boom. That happened when Benny was a young kid, and he seen that. Out of all his siblings, he was the only one that didn't kind of react the way your kid would. Was like, oh shit, Dad. He was like, just observing, like, just looking. I'm guessing because he didn't process what was going on. He didn't understand what was going on. Right? So with that going on, that happened. The father turned to drinking, and he became very abusive to his kids due to the fact that the mother left. Months went on. You feel me? The dad turned to drinking. He became abusive, especially to the kids. Every time he had a drink, he would lash out at the kids, right? He would lash out at the kids. The littlest things they did, got their ass whipped, got beat up. They went to school with bruises. Benny, he didn't like getting hit, especially for no reason. So Benny fought back. You feel what I'm saying? Benny fought back. Being that their dad was a big dude, he was about 250 muscle. You know what I'm saying? Solid dude. Remember, he worked at a warehouse. And he was lifting heavy things majority of the time. And he went to the gym. And he was always trying to keep his figure, to keep his wife, let her know, like, I'm saying, I'm here, baby. But her walking out on the whole family, it really hit him hard. You know what I'm saying? He turned to drinking and really not going to work as much and shit like that. Put him in a depressive state, and he took it out on the kids. Benny, on the other hand, when they dad lashed out, when they dad lashed out and got drunk and he was hitting on people, Benny was with the shits. Benny was he was a little kid. Before a little kid his age, he adapt very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Some kids adapt very quickly. Some kids be like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. Some kids be scared and petrified. Benny wasn't on that type of time. For a 5-year-old little boy, he was ready to fight for his brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So every time the dad would lash out, and the dad really didn't hit on Benny because he was so small, but he took immense to the fact that Benny fought for them. You know what I'm saying? And every time Benny fought for them, he kind of calmed himself down. Was like, all right, my kids is fighting. My son fighting me back, and my kids is scared. The dad be like, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna get it together. And he would leave the room. So his brothers and sisters praised him. Was like, yo, you crazy for fighting dad back because he big. And then Benny was just like, I don't want him hitting y'all no more. You know what I'm saying? So after that, their relationship kind of grew. It blossomed a little bit. We're going to fast forward 2 years. The daughters get ready to leave high school. The younger sister's ready to go into high school. The little brother, he's going into junior high school. And Benny is basically into like first, second grade. He's 7 years old now. And times has really changed. The mother ain't been home since they left. It's 2 years forward now. And Benny's out in the street. You know what I'm saying? He's out in the street. The dad is wilding out. Dad done turned to crack. He done got put on with crack. And he became a crackhead and a drunkie. And the younger sister wasn't with it no more. She became more like her mother. It was into the young kids who was trapping. You know what I'm saying? She was into all that fly shit. She was into the little boys who was gangbanging. The older sister had dreams. She wanted to become something. She wanted to be a lawyer and shit like that. The younger brother, he was into science, and he was into being an engineer, basically. You know what I'm saying? He was into stuff like that. He was a nerdy kid. So out of the four of them, you know what I'm saying, Benny was like, he was the go-getter. He started hanging in the streets with different kids and all that. He started hanging with kids in the streets and all that. Running around with the gangbangers. And he wanted to be down. He wanted to be in the street. He wanted to make money. 7-year-old little boy wanted to make money. Little nigga, go to school. Nope, he wanted to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Benny had a best friend named Timothy. You know what I'm saying? Him and Timothy met kindergarten. When they first met, they didn't see eye to eye. They got a shaking. You know what I'm saying? First over a toy, or this mine, I'm playing with this. One of those type situations, you feel me? They met, got it on, got put in timeout. While in timeout, they was grilling each other. Like, the teacher was just like, stop looking at each other, look in the corner. They was still mean mugging. After timeout situation occurred, you feel me? They sat down with each other one day and just, chopped it up. Little kids, like, you know what? It is what it is. And the reason why I say they chopped it up is because in kindergarten, it was one of these big bullies. Big fat kid. He was bullying, he was eating people's lunch. Now, Benny wasn't going for none of that. You know what I'm saying? He was eating people's lunch, and the teachers wasn't doing nothing about it. So, him and Timothy, right? Timothy, he got his lunch snatched up, and he was crying and shit. Benny seen that, and then he turned to Benny and was about to snatch Benny shit, and Benny was like, I'm not for it. Benny had a lock in his hand. He had one of those metal locks with the key. You got to put the key in it to open it. He had one of those in his hand, and he put his finger through it like a ring. And when the boy reached for his shit, he rocked him. Boom! The boy was shocked by it. It was like, oh! He hit him right across the dome. Left a scar on his forehead. So the other kids is like, oh! So Benny was like, you're not taking my lunch. Back up. So the boy was mad. He was furious. So he went charging at Benny. Timothy stuck his foot out, tripped him. Boop! He fell. That's when they both jumped on him and started kicking and punching him. Boop, boop, boop. The teacher came and broke it up. Like, what's going on in here? Timothy was like, he taking our lunch. He taking our lunch. He was like, no, it's not. It's mine. It's mine. Cool. So after the situation with Timothy and Benny at school beating up the school bully, they both sat with each other next day and became cool. Like, they basically had a sit down talk and just became cool. 5 years old in kindergarten, that was their first time ever actually having a moment with the bully, which they came together and been cool. Let's fast forward to 2 years now. Benny and Timothy out in the streets, running around, following these gangbangers, hanging with them, and being young lookouts for these niggas while they going hits and shit. Around 7 years old was the time Benny experienced shootouts. You know, he was in shootouts with people, you know what I mean? He seen people get killed right in front of him. He knew what a crackhead was. Like, he knew what a crack a rock looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like, these gangs was teaching him stuff like that. Him and Timothy, they wanted to be down. You know what I'm saying? So he was learning a lot of that on the street. And he was making little money here and there because at home, his father wasn't working. He was a drunk and abusive dude and whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was a drunk and abusive dude, and there was barely no food at the crib. So Benny decided he wanted to make the money for his brothers and sisters, and he wanted to bring in some food at the crib. So the little money he was making on the street, he basically was bringing it home to them so they could eat. It had been days when they go out, no food. The father didn't give a fuck. As long as he had his alcohol, he was good. They even called their mother up, like, Mom, we ain't got no food in here. Can you bring? The mother wasn't trying to bring them no food. Like, she was on a whole different time. Fuck them kids. I'm good. Tell your daddy there. Tell your daddy. So when Benny, realized that situation was going on, the streets is where it made it for him. He made it in the streets. He made a little money in there. He was making like $500, every week. And he was turning some of that into, paying bills, giving, his father money for the bills. And he was bringing in food in the crib. He was giving his brother and his sisters money if they needed something for school. Like, this 7-year-old little boy taking care of his family. Like, he taking care of his family. Little young nigga. He was making money. Like, his older sister seen what type of lifestyle he had. He was walking around with bricks of money in his hand, like in his pocket. He was walking around with stuff like that. And Timothy, he was the first one out of the two with a gun. He had picked up the gun from off somebody, and he took it and he ran. And he showed Benny. He's like, yo, look, I got the hammer. I got the hammer on me. And he was like being fancy with it, showing the gangs. I got a gun now. Anybody play with me, I'm bucking them. He was being a big show off. You feel me? Benny was being a big show off. Timothy was being a big show off. And Benny was looking at him like, yo, bro, stop showing off like that, bro. Like, stop doing that, bro. You look crazy. He like, don't tell me what to do. I got this. Don't tell me what to do. So Benny was just like, he was getting big-headed from the older dudes. Timothy was getting big-headed from the older dudes. And Benny wasn't feeling it because it was bringing more attention that he didn't need. So, boom, they both was making their bread. And I guess another gang seen them, like older teenagers, basically teenagers. They was about 14, 15. They ran into them. And they basically was planning on robbing them for their money. You know what I'm saying? So they was mobbing home. It was late. They was mobbing home, going back to the block. And Timothy was still showing off. I dare any motherfucker come out here and play with us. I dare any motherfucker. Benny like, yo, chill, bro. Like, chill, bro. It's like after 12. Why you bugging? So instantly niggas come out of nowhere and jump on niggas. Boop, boop. They jump on Timothy. He drops the gun. They start jumping niggas, beating on him. Benny fighting back. He manages to get away, pick up the gun and start bucking. Boop, boop, boop. And he let it ring. That was the first time Benny shot somebody. 7-year-old little boy shot somebody. Boop, boop, boop. And he hit the nigga twice. One in the head and one in the chest. The nigga instantly dropped. He dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, he was just like shaking up, like teenagers did. Timothy like, yo, you really shot, boy. You really shot, boy. It was cops in the area. Cops came running. Whoop, whoop. They ran. So they got snatched up by the feds. They got snatched up, and Timothy basically ratted on his mans. He's like, yo, that was Benny's gun. Benny did the shooting. So Benny going in, and they was like, yo, your homeboy snitched on you. He said, that's your gun. You shot that kid. Benny ain't say nothing. Benny ain't say nothing. So he was just like, I need a lawyer. So he basically, he knew what time it was. He learned that from the OG. Like, when you get in there and they start questioning you, don't say nothing. Just tell them you want a lawyer. So he lawyered up. Benny ended up doing 3 years in juvenile. Came home when he was like 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? He came home when he was like 10 years old. He got out on good behavior. And when he got out, you know, Timothy was still running around in the streets, cocky little nigga. He came home, he didn't really want to fuck with him like that. You know what I'm saying? And those 3 years that he was gone, a lot of shit has changed, especially in the house. His older sister got raped by the dad, and she ends up leaving the crib. The younger brother, he was really getting bullied on the block by the kids. And the other sister, she went to go stay with the mother, who the mother was pimping out young girls her age. The young boy she was running around with, he didn't want to deal with her no more. She was old, and she wasn't like a A project. She was more like a D project to walk around with. I mean, he wanted something young and tenderoni. She was old and outdated. You know what I'm saying? So he basically pushed the moms to the curb. You feel me? And he had his eye on the daughter, the second daughter. He had his eye on her. He ended up fucking with her and ended up getting her pregnant. He gave her 2 kids. Mind you, this guy like 20-something years old, and this girl like, she like 15. You 20-something years old, you messing with a young girl like that? The mother knew but didn't say nothing, because she felt like this is a way of her daughter learning how to get a nigga who got money that could take care of her. That was a bad mindset to have as a mother, but you can't tell nobody mother how to raise their kids at the end of the day. You can't tell nobody mother, you can't tell nobody father how to raise their kids at the end of the day. The father found out about it. He wasn't too pleased. He went to go check the mother about it. The dude was just so happened to be there at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was so happened to be there. So the mother and the father got into it. You know what I'm saying? And the mother was basically like, yo, why are you even over here? This is for niggas with money. You a broke motherfucker. Get out of here. What my daughter got going on ain't got shit to do with you. You ain't no man. What kind of man rapes his own daughter? Yeah, they told me. And it's like, you throwing that in his face, but you ain't doing no better by getting him out the situation. You left them kids. You know what I'm saying? She left them kids. You had your young son was in jail. Like, what kind of father you just sit at home? So that made him mad. And he went in rage and he started beating on the mother. And all that. And the dude was there. He basically broke it up. Like, yo, chill, get the fuck up out of here with that bullshit. Get up out of here. He swung on the dude and hit him. Hit the young cat. The young cat wasn't with it. And they end up jumping him. They end up jumping the father. And the young dude ended up killing him. He ended up shooting the dude. Boop, boop. Killing him. Killed their dad. And the mother basically helped him get rid of the body. You know what I'm saying? So after that situation happened, Benny was home. And when Benny came home, the father wasn't around. So he must have thought maybe, he on the street somewhere. It's been a couple of days since he's been home. He hasn't seen his dad. So, and when he came home, it was the brother in the crib and the second sister. And the sister now has kids. She has 2 kids. She has 2 kids in a 2-year span. She has a kid with an older dude. Dude is like in his 20s, and she's like 15, 16 years old with 2 kids already. Didn't even finish high school yet. So now she was going for her GED, and the second brother, who's the oldest brother, he was in high school. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to go to school. So when Benny came home, he found out all this information, and the sister was keeping information about the dad, which the streets was talking about it. And the old nigga over there got killed. They would say the old nigga over there. And they was referring to Benny's pops. So when Benny came home, you know, he ran into Timothy. He was like, yo, what's good? Like, Benny? What's good, my nigga? You know, Benny played it cool and didn't say nothing. He's like, you home? You home? My son home. So the niggas on the block knew why Benny was gone. They knew he took a murder rap. He took that rap, and that gave him respect in the street. Niggas knew he got a body on him. Timothy, on the other hand, and he was just a young nigga getting money. He was flashy. A lot of niggas ain't like that flashy shit. They was jealous of him because he was getting money and he was flashy and cocky. But Timothy didn't hold no weight as far as street status. Like, yeah, you getting money, but niggas will still rock your shit, nigga. Like, so that was going on. And a lot of snake shit was going on behind Benny back. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was, you know, robbing him of his bread because he was getting money now. Niggas was putting him into moves where he could get money, and niggas was also robbing him. Mind you, it was his own best friend doing snake shit. His brother, who was working a job and going to school, Timothy robs him. He saw him coming home. The brother had just copped a new iPhone. The new iPhone he copped was for Benny to have, because Benny didn't have no phone. He was copping the phone for Benny, so Benny could have a phone to, you know, talk to people and shit, instead of using the house phone. Timothy seen him, and he ran down on him, and he pistol whipped him. Boop! Took the phone from him. Give me that. Fresh new phone. Took it from him. Beat him up. Brother came home bloodied up and shit. Benny like, what the fuck happened to you? I got robbed. Fuck you mean you got robbed? For what? What? I got robbed for the phone I was going to give you as a gift, as a welcome home gift. I saved up for it. Benny was like, damn, son. That hurt Benny, because, like, it was a gift, you know what I'm saying, from the heart. Like, I saved up a lot of money for that phone. Like iPhone, a band and some change. He saved up for that. His job wasn't paying him that much. He was saving up some checks for his brother. Like, damn, son. Like, that hurt Benny. The sister seen that he was hurt. He was like, damn, bro. So Benny helped his brother get cleaned up. He's like, you know who did it? Nah. I didn't see the kid. He came from behind. Only thing I knew about him was he had chains on, because that's all I kept hearing around his neck. So Benny like, damn. So Benny helped him get cleaned up. Benny hit the block. While Benny hitting the block, he hearing all types of shit. He hearing his mother getting smacked up by the young kid. He hearing his sister with 2 kids. He kept hearing about this old nigga who got killed by this young nigga that was fucking with his moms. That was so happened to be his sister baby father, who he never met. He only knew that the sister had kids. So as time go on, Benny started hanging around OGs. And them niggas is showing him how to rob. And them niggas is showing how to, you know, get down on niggas. Timothy was running around, I got a new iPhone, boy. I got a new iPhone. And when he move around, the chains, they dangle. They make noise. So when he was around Benny would hear that. And then it was playing back in his head when his brother said, yo, the only thing I heard was that he had chains on. So Benny was like, no, this nigga ain't do that. No, this motherfucker ain't do that. First, the nigga snitch on me with a gun he had. Now this nigga robbed my brother. So Benny asked him, he's like, yo, wait, bro, where you cop that iPhone from? Timothy, so so flashy. You know, I'm getting bread. You flash a big brick. You know, I'm getting money out here, boy. You know how I do. You know how I do. The brother told him the color of the phone and everything. It was a red phone and it had the initials on the back of it. It said, it's Lil Benny on the phone. It was emplated in the phone. So when Timothy pulled out the phone and he was making a phone call, and Benny stuck around the side to see the side of the phone. Snuck around the side to see the side of the phone. So he looked and he seen it. It said, Lil Benny. That's the third time his brother done, you know, his man's done fucked him over. Another situation, this is where Benny had to do something about Timothy. Same niggas that got him robbed and the same niggas that he killed, you know, one of the niggas he killed, them same niggas was working with Timothy now, getting money with him. And Timothy basically told them that the nigga that shot your mans, he home now. The little young nigga, he home now. Mind you, they the same age. So them niggas was gone. So Timothy basically put it in motion to get him set up, right? Timothy put it in motion to get him set up. And he basically telling Benny, like, yo, I got a money drop. Pull up with me, pull up with me. So Benny like, what? Where? When? Why you asking me? Why you ain't asking one of these other motherfuckers? He like, I know you just came home. I know you could use the bread. I know you could use the bread. So Timothy like, all right, bet. Let me know the info. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit you. So he hit Benny with the time and the place, right? Hit Benny with the time and the place. And when he told Benny, Benny was already at the spot. Benny was already at the location when he told him. And Timothy was on his way there. He told the guys where the spot was. Now, this is the smart thing Benny did was so happening to be in the area. It was a coincidence. And the fact that he was already there, he just played it. He played it. He was like, I'm already here. This nigga ain't here yet. Let me see. Let me see what goes on. Little young nigga learning the street. Let me see what goes on. Let me play back. And he see a car pull up. The car pull up, and for 20 minutes, nobody gets out the car. It just sits there. Another car pull up from behind. Mind you, Benny in the cut lurking. He looking. He see two dudes get out the car, and they get in that one car. They get in the car. A phone call happened. They calling. They reaching out to Benny. Benny had to cop a track phone. He had a track phone because the phone he was supposed to have got was that iPhone. It was track. Now he got a track phone. So they like, yo, he like, yo, I'm here, bro. Where you at? So Benny like, oh, I'm 2 minutes away, bro. I'm 2 minutes away. I'm gonna meet you right in front of the spot. You gonna be outside, right? He like, yeah, I'm gonna be outside. So he see the two niggas go hide. He jumps out the whip and he go in front of the spot and wait for Benny. Benny, he pull up. What up? What's going on? Two niggas hop out, start dumping. Timothy run the opposite way. Benny run right behind him. He's like, yo, split, bro. They after me. Benny, he dips and then he ducks. And when he ducked, they stopped shooting. This when he knew niggas was lying to him. Because once he ducked, the shooting stopped. And then when he looked up, he ain't see nobody. Right? He ain't see nobody. So Timothy like, you get the nigga? You hear Timothy, you get the nigga? You get the nigga? They like, we don't know which way he went. So I'm going to go check this way, and y'all niggas go that way. Benny knew what time it was now. His own man's trying to line him. That's the third time he done fucked him over. Third time. So one nigga went that way and one nigga went that way. Benny caught the one nigga slipping. Boop, boop, boop. Put 4 in his chest. Niggas heard the gunshots, came running. Benny skated out of there. Nigga was left dead on the scene. Niggas jumped in their whips and dipped off. So niggas hit the block next day type situation. Niggas hit the block. And Timothy like, oh boy, what happened to you yesterday when niggas shoot? Like, you got missing and shit? Like, you just up and dip? I said, nigga, they was shooting. What you fuck you supposed to do? Say that? He said, I didn't even know where you went, boy. Yeah, I wonder why. He's like, what you mean? Benny was so furious. You feel me? He was so furious about the situation. He wanted to kill Timothy right there on the spot and didn't give a fuck if anybody saw him. But he put down one kid, and then Timothy's like, oh, what if I get another lick? Or I get another lick? Timothy's like, nah, I'm good, bro. He's like, you sure? I know you can use the bread. You sure? I'm good, bro. Benny ends up lining up Timothy because Timothy was into females. He was like, any female, except he was into females, bro. He was just into them, and if a female's on his body, it's going down type situation, right? So one girl in particular, Timothy was trying to get with, but she liked it, Benny. So Benny used her to his advantage, and was like, yo, he sweet talked the girl and get her to do it. So the girl had a situation, told Timothy to pull up. Timothy pulled up. Instead of actually going through with the shit, Benny popped out on him and put 2 in his head. Boop, boop. Put 2 in his head. And left the nigga sitting on the curb. Bloodied out. You know what I'm saying? Word on the block heard Timothy got hit. And Benny life, it kept moving. I mean, he just killed his best friend who did shady shit to him. And he was making a living for his life. You know, he was on the street. He was a young kid on the street. You know what I mean? By 16, he done had about 7 bodies on his name. Niggas ain't really want to fuck with him. His sister moved out of the state. She ended up moving to Arizona. The second sister ended up getting the job, becoming a nurse like her mom. Benny found out around 16 how his dad died. When his sister was talking about it to somebody else, he found out that his mom's basically got the dad killed and they hid the body or whatever. So he bugged out on his sister. And he basically was talking to the other siblings about it. And they didn't take it too well. They kind of like disowned the sister for that because that's fucked up. That's their dad at the end of the day. Benny was so fucked up by it, he ended up killing his sister. Killed the sister and killed his moms. And, you know, police found out that it was him. The streets was talking. Then he ended up going to jail and doing a life bid. You know what I mean? 16 years old, you doing life, my nigga. Killed your sister and your moms, bro. Or for your dad was abusive. I understand the fact that's your dad, but killing them didn't make the situation no better, bro. That's a story on Benny, man. It's your boy Carter TV, and I'm out. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.